Now, the main problem with the LaFerrari are issues with its complex hybrid system, specifically the high cost and potential for failure of the battery pack, which can require a very expensive replacement if not maintained properly. The car is also subject to recalls for the headrests and the pressure monitoring system, and its maintenance and insurance costs are exceptionally high due to the car's specialized nature and performance parts. Now, the hybrid system and the battery issues. Now, the expensive battery replacement. Now, if the hybrid battery fails, a replacement from the manufacturer can cost upwards to $195,000. So basically, you're looking at $200,000 to replace it. Now, the risk of battery degradation. Now, the battery can degrade or fail if the car is left unused for more than 5 days without having connected to a power source. So you can't forget this, to keep it plugged up to a power source. And then there comes the complex repairs. Now, the hybrid system is complex, and fixing it can be challenging. Now, some owners have found third-party experts who can diagnose and fix individual cells at a fraction of the cost of a full replacement. Now, there's also recalls and safety concerns. Now, the headrest. Now, a 2015 recall addressed headrests that may not have absorbed enough energy during a crash. Now, the pressure monitoring system is another recall from 2014 to 2015 models, corrected a software issue where the system could incorrectly display a warning, potentially causing the driver to continue on a flat tire. The high cost of ownership. Now, the insurance and monthly insurance can be around $2,000 or $24,000 per year. It's an amazing cost, but if you got this kind of money, it is no big deal. Now, the tires and brakes, replacing the tires is very expensive. $500 for the front, $900 for the rear. And a full brake replacement can cost upwards to around $40,000. Now, maintenance. The general maintenance, like oil changes and tune-ups, also is extremely expensive. But besides that, this is one wonderful car. Just listen to that noise, folks. Wow. Who can even think about owning a car like this? Now, let's go back to look at some things such as the degradation of the battery replacement. This is a significant, well-known problem, and this has to do with the complex high-KERS battery, which is HYKERS. Battery can degrade or fail the car if it sits unused for an extended period without being connected to the battery charger. Now, this can cost $200,000 that we talked about earlier. And then you talk about the high maintenance. Well, we can all expect that. Most of these problems are really no big deal. But then there's some other stuff, folks. Now, the maintenance of the LaFerrari is exceptionally expensive due to the need of specialized tools, rear parts and factory trained technicians, routine maintenance such as oil change, new brake pads, or the cost can be pretty expensive. Now, you have electrical system issues in the battery drain. Now, the car is equipped with an extensive advanced electronics, which can sometimes lead to glitches and rapid battery drain if the car is not used regularly or maintained on a charger. And then with all beautiful exotic cars, you have low ground clearance. Now, it's designed for track and performance. The LaFerrari has a very low ground clearance, making it impractical for everyday use. Our public roads with speed bumps, potholes, which can damage the suspension and the undercarriage. Now, you can imagine how much an undercarriage would cost for this car. And you have performance claims. Now, sources and initial discussion among owners and enthusiasts suggest that Ferrari may have slightly exaggerated the car's weight and performance figures at launch, though the car is still an incredible machine. Now, ultimately, these problems are typically seen in inherent challenges of maintaining a multi-million-dollar vehicle, limited production hypercar. So there are many flaws. But boy, I can tell you one thing. It is quite worth it, folks. What a machine. And the question remains, how does third parties, repair shops, can fix a LaFerrari hybrid battery? By disassembling the battery pack, identifying and replacing only the individual faulty cells, and addressing any software issues in the battery management system known as BMS. Now, this approach is in contrast to the Ferrari method of replacing the entire battery assembly, which leads to high costs. But the one thing to think about, folks, is the repair process. The repair process for something like this has got to be something else, folks. Specialized repair processes undertaken by shops or EV clinics, which repair a LaFerrari battery for a fraction of the cost, involves several detailed steps. You got to open up the battery packs, diagnose the cell health, and replacing the failed cells, and addressing the software issues. That's just some things to think about with this machine, folks. But this machine is going to bring you pretty, I could say many years of enjoyment if you got the wallet to stomach it. Now, a technician's going to carefully open up the battery pack and gain access to the individual battery cells. And then after that, they're going to go on with the diagnosis. Now, each cell is tested to check for an imbalance on failures of lithium-ion battery packs, like the one in the LaFerraris, are made of many smaller cells working together. Now, failure of a few cells can cause the entire pack to malfunction. And then you have to replace the failed cells. Now, the technician can replace only the faulty cells with the new ones that have matching specifications to ensure the pack remains balanced and perform correctly. And last but least is the software issues. Now, when a battery is been fully drained, the BMS software can become corrupted or locked. Now, specialized equipment such as the JTAG programmer, like the VVDI program, is used to correct the BMG read files and write the corrected flash file on the chip. Boy, this is, even though it's less expensive, it sounds quite costly. And the last but least, you have to recondition and test everything. Now, the repair pack is then reconditioned and tested, folks. But these are just some of the problems. But I tell you one thing, it is sure in the hell worth it. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and have a fantastic day.